Really? Woo! Okay. Okay then. So, after a year, the World Health Organization were finally allowed to go to Wuhan to investigate the origins of the virus. They weren't allowed to go into the Wuhan Institute of Virology because the CCP wouldn't allow it. The CCP basically being, the Chinese government, essentially. What they found was that the virus was not originated in Wuhan, which is, ironic because it's been like a year since all of this madness started, and literally everybody in the world knows that that virus started in Wuhan. It had been rumored that it originated in a lab. It had been rumored that it originated in wet markets. And the original story was leaning more towards the wet market story where, some people ate bad food, from food markets that should be illegal because of how they treat animals and how they, kill the animals and prepare them as food and how dangerous it is. And because of the people ate the food from those markets, they got ill with SARS-like symptoms, flu-like symptoms, and then it's known as the virus that we know today. And, it turns out that since the virus did not originate from Wuhan, supposedly, we shouldn't be out here blaming the Wuhan Institute of Virology, even though they spent months, if not years, researching into zoonotic diseases that included transmission of disease from bats to humans. Dr. Daszak, a British, scientist, he was a member of the WHO medical team that was sent to Wuhan to investigate the origins of the virus. It turns out that this doctor not only worked for an organization that channeled funds into the Wuhan Institute of Virology, he personally also worked with a doctor that was nicknamed Batwoman for her research into bats and the diseases that they have. To add insult to injury, it turns out that recently 300 studies from the National Natural Science Foundation of China were wiped from the records. They were essentially deleted, including all research from the same doctor slash virologist that was nicknamed Batwoman. Now, if I were a virologist, if I were a respected doctor worth my salt, I would be a little bit peed off if all of my research had been wiped or deleted by, well, I think we can guess who deleted it, but I would be peed off if that had to happen to my research, especially since I'd be working years on it. And this lady, Dr. Shi Zhengli, as I already said, she had been working with Dr. Daszak, a doctor who was a member of the WHO medical official team that was sent to Wuhan to investigate the origin of the virus. They worked together on, binding zoonotic diseases to human cells, according to an article in the Daily Mail. But of course, this lady doesn't seem to mind. At least she hasn't publicly gone on record and talked about why her research has been removed, at least not to my knowledge. But what's important is, if it wasn't obvious enough that the World Health Organization were political bedfellows with, the Chinese establishment, it turns out that the wife of the Chinese president, Xi Jinping, it turns out that she, the wife, is a goodwill ambassador for the World Health Organization. Corruption at its finest.